Hi folks, today we're going to speak about all the possibilities of the PT3000. Okay, first of all, to switch on your PT3000, as said before, push and release the program button. Then you will see on the display there is here an arrow, and that arrow points to this button. I push again on the program button and release. Now you see the arrow and it's related to this button. I press release. Now you see this arrow which is related to that button. Press release. And now you see that arrow that is related to that press button. Okay, this arrow shows you that this button is preset on a continuous stim and on level 6. There is two things you can change. You can change the level by turning the rotation knob in one or another direction. Okay. And you can change the electricity program by staying on the button. I press, and what you see here, a music box is popping up, which means continuous electricity with tone. In case of your chameleon, the tone on your chameleon will be tone and vibration together. I press and stay on the button, and you see the display is changing. Now pops up a little other icon, and this means now this button, this arrow, this button is on level 10 on the electricity type momentary or flash. Flash, which means momentary, which means about a big half a second of a stim. I press the button and I stay on it, and now I see another icon popping up. It is the momentary with tone on level 10. If you want to change the level, just change the rotation knob. Once this button is set on that program, it will stay there. Also, when you switch off the color and switch it on again, it will stay on that electricity program, and it will remind it. If you want to change it, be sure that this arrow points to that button. Press and wait until the icon changes, and now you see here another icon, which is the icon of rising stim. In this case, starting from 11, I push and I release. I push and I stop. I push and I release. Okay? If you want to change the level where your rising stim starts, no problem. We can scroll down, and for example now, by going more and more down, for example in this case it will start from level 1. Look, I push the button, 1, 2, and once the dog is reacting, you release. I tap. When you see the dog is reacting, you release. The program display always shows you at which level the dog was reacting. For example, you tap and you release, and it's always on this. You tap, you release, you tap, you release, and you tap, and you release, you tap, and you release. It's a nice feature, but be careful. As soon as you see a reaction in the dog, you must take your finger away. It will always start where you initially set how to start. For example, here it will start at this level. Tap, stop, tap, stop, okay? By pressing this button and stay on it, you will change the configurations above there. I will do it now. Press, and what you see now, the rising stim icon stays, but in addition with the tone. And remember, with the chameleon it will be and tone and vibration and rising together. I press the button to change the program. What you see now, a continuous horizontal line, which means continuous electricity, that starts with a warning tone followed by the electricity with the continuous stim. Warning tone followed by the continuous electricity and the tone. Okay, you want to change it again, you press the button, the icon changes and you release. Now your button here, remember the arrow points to the button there. This button is set on continuous electricity on level 3. You want to start, you can go higher or lower, whatever you want, and it will stay there, or you must change the level yourself. If you would link a finger kick to this button, this finger kick will always do what this button is preset at and on. Now we're gonna go to this button. Now you see that the arrow is pointing to that press button, and here it shows us that this button is set on level 1, continuous electricity with tone. You want to change it, you press the button and you release when you see something changing in your display. In this case, we have the configuration of the momentary stim at level 1. It means that I'm going to check again. I push that button is set at 2 continuous, and this is preset at 1 momentary, 2 continuous, 1 momentary, 2. You want to change it, no problem. Now we're going to go higher, for example. This is 8 continuous, 1 momentary, 8 continuous, 1 momentary. If you link your finger kick to that button and you push that finger kick, it will give you this electricity level on that type. If you link this to another finger kick, this and this will give you that, which is 1 on momentary. This is one ID code that is linked with your chameleon, and it gives you 2 immediate possibilities on different electricity programs on different levels. Now, at the other side of your transmitter, there again you have 2 buttons, 2 stim buttons, and those stim buttons also can be preset. How do we proceed? A push and release. Now the arrow shows that button is set on level 3, continuous electricity and with a tone. If you want to change it to another program, you press and stay on it until the display changes. What do we see now? Momentary on level 3. I push again. Momentary with tone on level 3. I press again. Rising starting from level 3. Press again. Rising stim with tone starting from level 3. Warning tone followed by continuous electricity with tone on level 3. Press and release again. And now we have the continuous electricity. And now I want to change this configuration. How do I do? Press release. Now you see that the arrow is pointing to that button, and level 1 for this button, continuous electricity with tone, we can change it to momentary at level 1, momentary with tone at level 1, rising starting from level 1. Now we are at this button. See the arrow? That button, see the arrow? And the display always shows you what the last programmation and the last level was, which is fantastic. So here, this button shows you, the arrow points to that button, it shows you that the last stim we gave was at level 1 and that the electricity program is rising. If I tap my button, it rises up, 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 up until the maximum, okay? If I tap again, it will start again at a low level. Start again. And start again. Okay, this is a fantastic thing. You will see. Specific for this very professional transmitter is that every button will give you the last stimulation level at the last programmation your color was at. Very specific is that you have an instantaneous, immediately 2 buttons that you can use, and in case of the chameleon you can also link this side to the same chameleon. Remember the 4 masters, so that with this transmitter you have 1, 2, 3, 4 preset programmers possibilities on 4 different levels or whatever you want. Remember that when the level is set on 0, your chameleon by default will give you a click. That means that if we press this button, your chameleon will do click, 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 click. So on 0 it will do a click, click. That means that the electricity program above means nothing. So on 0 it just is click, click. Another very specification is that rising stim only can work starting from level 1, 2 to 18. Rising stim can never work starting from 0. Impossible. Okay? Thank you, and we'll see you later for another little video. Bye bye.